Okay, as you can see, I have managed to fit my DCC bus wire. It goes all around this lower board now. It's fitted quite loosely. You can see a couple of droppers there poking through. And I had twisted it round. I'd read that you have to twist it round because apparently it does something about interference or something, it reduces it, so I don't know. So I twisted it round because that's what I read, and being a bit of a novice at all this, I thought, well, if it says to twist it, I will. So it's quite loose. I can't actually do anything with it at the moment because I've just ordered a load of crimp connectors and things from Rapid Online. So until I do that, until they arrive, I can't actually wire any of that up. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on top of the board. You may remember in the last video I was fixing down this loading line. Well, that's all fixed down, as we saw, and working. What I'm working on now is I'm just planning the route of this, what is effectively the up line. I know it looks like in a lot of places it's going down or up, it doesn't make any difference, but this line here, oops, this is the main up. So this is going to come round and it joins onto this loading point here, and it will continue through this reverse point here, up through this platform and off up into yonder. Now, none of this is fixed. Well, that's not fixed. None of this is fixed. I'm just trying to work out my angles. It'll all be fixed with FlexiTrack eventually, but I just wanted to see the distance I'd need to leave between these two rails. This is going to split off. I mean, actually, this line is important because this line comes off the loading rail. So we're off the loading rail where we split and go up onto the up line. Yeah, and then there will be another point somewhere up here where this deltic is, which will drop it onto the main. So this, imagine this is a spur coming off round and there. So yeah, platform 1, platform 2, or platform 1, platform 2, I don't know, whatever. So that's the up. The downs will run the down will run parallel with another platform. At the moment, like I say, I'm just in the process of working out the angles, but don't worry about the fact that I'm using set track and stuff. That's just so as I can work out where things go roughly before I go fixing FlexiTrack into position. This obviously is going to be the programming track. That'll run up there to there. I can't actually fix any of this down at the moment because all of the points or turnouts, as I believe they're called, on the loading lines are going to be operated with a manual wire and tube system. So the reason for that is twofold. Firstly, they're quite close to the edge of the board, so getting switch point motors and things in could be quite difficult. And I'm not going to wanting to service mount anything, and I don't want to go and have to buy those remote attachments for point motors and things. It doesn't seem to matter. Then these points are not part of the layout, as it were, if you know what I mean. They're not part of the running layout. They're only there for loading. So I thought, well, if they're manual, then they will be physically isolated from the DCC system, so I can't make any cock-ups. I know when I'm loading a train, so if I'm loading a train onto the track, onto the layout, I know I'm doing it, so I'll do it manually, and then once it's manually loaded onto the track, I can switch all of that back to its default through settings for the layout, and then that way I won't have any trains accidentally going onto the loading lines, as it were, when we're running. So this point here, it will be manually operated, so that's a manual operated. This one's a manual point. This pair, so this point and this point are manual, so they'll operate from one throw because they have to operate in sync. And then finally, the last manual point pair is here. So this pair operate manually and they'll operate in unison, obviously. So the normal state will be through. When the manual, they will switch. Obviously I'll pull the lever and both of them will switch fantastically. So there you go. So that's where I am. So I can't actually physically lay any track now until that arrives. So that's another wait until that actually arrives, and I can get on and fit them in. I'm still not decided whether to try. Oh, well, what I'm going to do first is I've drilled the holes for the points. So I'm going to see if I can mount this wiring tube thing under the board. If I can't mount it under the board, I'm going to mount as much as I can under the board and then come up in channels. So I had a look to see what it would look like. So I would cut a channel in the baseboard. So this is one of the reasons for putting this 4mm cork on the top. Nothing to do with sound mainly, it's to do with the fact that it means I can cut things into it and hide things and stuff. So the wire I will drill at an angle, bring up the tube and fit it to that. If I can't fit it from underneath, that is. So I'm just looking at ways of doing that, and I've marked out all that just to see where these channels will run. Until I've actually got the gear, I can't actually do that. So there you go. But like I say, I saw these, I showed you these before, and I'm just showing them in operation here. These are brilliant. I mean, this is the minimum distance that you can have between the rails. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to measure it. You just clip these over the rail and it gives you a distance. Brilliant. Like I say, this is I'm trying to still work to this 21-inch radius here. So that's my widest layout radius. So yeah, it's all coming together. Hopefully, by the end of the week, the clips, the electronics will have arrived, and I'll have received the kit for the points, so I can try getting them on. Okay, I'll give you an update later. Time for another experiment. Okay, as part of the layout plan, I've got to raise a train from the baseboard up to another level. Now, I've read and seen things about gradients and stuff, and I don't fully understand all of the various calculations and things. So I thought I'd have a look at an experiment. Now, this piece of flexi track here is 90 centimeters long. Okay, so that is half the distance, almost. Well, actually, it's about 150 centimeters climb that I've got. So this is basically half the distance, or just over half the distance, but it's climbing twice as high as it needs to, because it needs to clear this coach. Now, obviously the coach isn't on the rail and stuff, but for all intents and purposes, that's the minimum clearance, I think, there. So I need to get a track bed at least that high. So it'll probably be a bit higher than that, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I thought I'll give it a whirl. So I set up the piece of flexi track. It's attached to the ECOS, and it does go up. Obviously, I didn't think it wouldn't, but you can see it's climbing up. I'll stop it before it hits the bumper at the end. So it goes up with no problem at all, to be honest. Obviously it'll have coaches and stuff, but there's nothing heavy going up it. So I suppose that's that. You see, I'm messing about a lot at the minute because I can't actually get on until bits and pieces arrive. Like I said before, I need to do these manual points until the gear arrives for that. I can't actually lay anything else down. But yeah, so I'm quite happy that works. Well, I knew it would, but it was just a bit of an experiment to see, just to prove to myself that that it will get up. Because I've seen people saying about engines not being able to get up gradients and stuff, but I mean that's an all-wheel pickup. It's quite a powerful little beast, and most of the rolling stock on here will be of that ilk. Most of the engines and stuff, DMUs and diesels and things. So it's not I'm using any steam engines or anything. So yeah, but that's cool. But more about this gradient once I've got this bottom half laid and I start work on the top bit. Then at that point, once I've got the low level laid, you see, I can then actually put in the bit that's going to take it over. And effectively we're going from that corner there all the way across this board to come onto this board here, and then there'll be a raised bit that will go all the way around the back, all the way around the back, all the way down the back there and into this station. So that's the plan, but it should look quite good. It'll become obviously more visual once I've actually got the track down, and you'll be able to see all of the risers and everything in place. But yeah, dead cool, dead happy. Alright, hopefully this stuff will come tomorrow. Happiness indeed. I ordered some stuff from Rapid Electronics yesterday with the basic postage. It arrived today. They're not called Rapid Electronics or nothing. So got all the clips for the DCC wiring now. So dead cool. We'll go and crack on with that. So let's see how I get on. So as you can see, I've got the droppers that I had wired up to the DCC bus now. There's that little set of droppers there, and then there is a you see that set of droppers there. That's all I've got in at the moment, because as I said, I can't really do anything else till I get these tube and wire manual points down, because I don't know where I'm going to be laying track, and I don't know whether I'm going to be laying it on the top, the points, wires, or underneath, or a combination of the two. So I'm a bit in limbo now. So anyway, it does work. Oops. I've had a bit of a tidy up. It does work, so I'm quite pleased about that. Just start it up. Not that you really need to see my train go around my bit of track again, but you will, because it's fun. So there it goes. Powered fully from the DCC bus, so I'm quite impressed with myself. To a lot of you train aficionados and layout masters and all this isn't probably very exciting, but for me it is, because I've watched all these videos and read all these bits and bats and got it to go. So brilliant. So thanks for everybody that's put videos out there about this. In particular Everard Junction, he had a bit and basically got the bits that he said, these things, these like clips from Rapid Electronics, and these whatever they are, spade connectors. One thing though with these, I thought the colours were just colours, but apparently they're not, right? The colours mean something, so each different colour is for a different gauge wire. Now I'm using 1.5mm, or 1.4 something, I don't know what the AWG of that is, about 14, 15 maybe. But check when you buy things like this that the gauge wire that you want to use it for, they're appropriate. It always tells you it's like AWG. I didn't know that, and I wondered what it was. Then I looked at it, and thankfully I worked it out. I measured my wire, and managed to get the right ones without wasting any money. So otherwise I'd have bought like blue and red to match my wires, but that would have been wrong. You know, blue is a certain size and red is a certain size of them, and the red things match this. So the little red joiner things, spade connectors, get crimped in that red dot thing there. I don't know if you can see it in this light. Then there's a blue one and a yellow one, and they're different sizes. So I would get one of these. Definitely get one of these if you're going to use them, because you know they crimps them really well. So anyway, hopefully tomorrow the point wires have come. We're coming towards the end of week 2 of waiting now, and I really do want to get cracking. Now that I've got the DCC bus wired, I know it works. There's nothing really stopping me now from laying all this, getting it all sorted, but the only thing I'm waiting for, of course, is this wiring tube system. So there you go. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll do another update soon, and I'll have the points going and more track down, and my train whizzing around. So okay, catch you later. Bye.